Let's go over here. It's redirecting. She's redirecting. It's been a minute. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. We've all been thoroughly busy in our personal lives. I'm sure you guys can understand that. Let me see here. Let me pop out the old chatteroony. Let's get this guy over here. See if I can not screw this up because I had some windows open that we were going to go over because I just can't get away from this freaking question that every one of you guys just seems to keep asking, which is all right. I just don't talk about it. I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it on the channel. I don't want anything to do with it. Um, I know a lot of you guys out there are running whatever you're running, which is fine. See pop out chat. Let's see, am I gonna do this? And we're gonna talk a little bit, I guess tonight on if that is a viable option. And our success rate. What up, Mr. Chris? If that's a viable question, for you all, we have a a very high success rate with making these 6.7s operate like they should. And that's with all the publications that you guys actually can have access to as well. That is motorcraft.com. You guys can actually pay for the time to view the material and fix your truck. The other thing that you'd have to have is obviously a scan tool, that either being IDS, which is my go-to. Following closely in second would be Forescan. Forescan is, I believe, something that all you guys should have. It is a scan tool, not only for your truck, but for all Ford vehicles. And I think that having that in your arsenal, if you have a Ford vehicle, not just because it's going to break, but the most important thing is actually to be able to talk to your truck. And if you can't talk to it, how the hell are you going to fix it? Everybody, so many people have gotten a hold of the channel, emailed, um, giving me this info, wants me to fix their truck. But the fact of the matter is I can't do that unless I can talk to the truck. So if you can't talk to the truck, then I already did. I already did. If you can't talk to the truck, then it's going to be useless. So that being said, a lot of you all that decide to modify these vehicles are usually doing it because they don't know how to fix it, or they don't want to fix it, or it's too expensive. Uh, Ford has fortunately um, set um, publications and tests in certain orders that once they are followed by individuals that know what A and then B and then C and D and keep going on, they'll have no problem following that pinpoint test. But that is why we get vehicles brought to us. So, um, just going through the comments here. I went to Chevy. Hey, good luck with that. Garage mechanic. Let's see here. Tom Jubb, what's up, everybody? Been a while since I've seen y'all. See you guys lurking in the comments on the the video, the weekly vids.
Lurking,
Lurking.
lurking.
What up, Mr. Ray?
Hello.
Welcome. Forescan tool is different than the one I have for reading codes on the dash plug. Forescan is going to be PC based, so you're going to need a laptop. Oh, good job, Skidoo. Glad for you. 2022 warranty to 2029. Damn.
You
Hey.
can use Forescan Lite for data, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not always computer based.
So with the problems, if one were to ask me, what are the problems that I see these trucks come in with? I would say, what up, Eddie? I would say a good 80% of them are all emissions related. And that goes for the Super Duty, the medium duty, even the transits. Not so much the F-150s. The F-150s is probably one of the tightest ones out of all the Ford diesels. But they still, too, they do have their problems when people forget about the maintenance, especially those belts. CP has got that handled over here on the East Coast. But what happens when you get to the point where you make that decision? One, it's highly illegal. Two, finding people to do that is going to be tough. Nobody, it's taboo. I don't. This is why this is like the one and only time that I've ever spoke about taking the emissions off these trucks, and it wasn't. I guess for the foundation being at the dealer, I have no choice but to continue onward and fix these vehicles as I did at the dealership. So doing repairs now that are no longer warranty, but these people are paying five, six, seven, $8,000 to repair these vehicles the right way. How does one how does an individual swallow that versus a company who's got a dump truck and them paying for the repairs? Somebody who's got a pickup truck and has to have that happen, that could cripple them. You may not even have $8,000 in the bank. Hopefully you do. You're driving a Super Duty. I mean, you got to be paying for a payment or something. I know that boy can't be paid off, but it is, what are you going to do to keep yourself from not having problems? Now, a lot of people, um, I would say a good handful of people reach out to the channel and say they are first time diesel owners and they want to know what to do and how to operate these things. And then when you start talking about the regenerative system and what's in the exhaust, what's going through the exhaust, what that means. And it's kind of almost overwhelming for these people to take in this information, because now it is more, as soon as you step your foot into a diesel, it is not just driving down the road and it's just you're just driving. There's a lot of things that you have to worry about when you operate a diesel, one of those being the emissions. And the most important is fuel. Excuse me, these dogs keep whining. I need to shut this door. Get out.
Ooh, the sound of perpetual whining dogs.
Oh my goodness. Love them, but
I
Shut
just
enough with the whining,
I
man.
just want to put this out
up.
here before we get any deeper. We're not removing your exhaust, we're not removing your EGR, and we're not removing your DEF or DEF system. So it's not happening from us anyways.
Yeah,
Stop
no,
asking.
you can't do that. It's illegal.
It's
Stop
Against the
highly
asking.
law.
illegal,
Against
and
the law.
the juice ain't worth the squeeze anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Um,
Let's just put that
what's
out there right now. We're not doing it. Sorry.
what what is the biggest killer of these trucks? CP, what do you think?
The people that build them.
The 3.0 and
Or the people that
6.7,
operate them?
the 3.0 and the 6.7 is both EGR by far. The
We had
EGR
a
is just absolutely nasty.
The
we had
regulations.
a little um learning experience, not learning
Yes, what's up,
experience,
man?
teaching lesson at the shop with a customer about a week or so ago, and he had said, what is this EGR? And this EGR is exhaust gas recirculation. Exhaust. Okay, so let's break down the EGR word. Exhaust. So exhaust is what comes out your tailpipe. Exhaust gas. Okay, so we're identifying it as what is supposed to be coming out your tailpipe. Recirculating. Okay, so now we have some exhaust gases that are supposed to be going out the tailpipe now being recirculated back into your engine. So this exhaust gas, it's inert. There's nothing else left of its waste. You can't really do anything with it. But if we recirculate this waste, yum, 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 back into your engine, it mysteriously, chemically combinationed with wind, water, hot, and Captain Planet comes out your tailpipe as cooler knocks, and that temperature comes down in the combustion chamber. Well, who would have thunk Captain Planet and his gang of posse? No. What happens with that EGR? CP is saying this killer is when you guys, I should say you guys, because it's not every one of you guys. The people who operate the trucks that don't go and drive. And oh man, I don't want to go over 2000 RPM. Oh man, I don't want to beat this thing. You can't really do that, especially the ones that are sitting there idling. Your work trucks, I get it. Your PTO, you can't run the PTO while you're driving down the road. You're sitting there. I get it. Hey, I get it. I get it. But let's change how we operate the truck. And I guarantee you're going to have half the problems that you have. Um, I think turning on what Ford has turned off, why I have an iota of sense, possibly maybe the more info we get the customer, that being the DPF percentage, and actually the ability for you to run that regen yourself without a scan tool through your instrument cluster. Does that sound like something you would want turned on, being a first time diesel owner? You want to know all this info? I want to know how much is in this $8,000 filter. You want to know what's in your freaking fuel tank? You just paid $300 to fill up your 60 galley. Like, I want to know what's in my filter. I want to know what's in my engine. Like, we just looked at a vehicle. A customer brought it in, was interested in buying it. A 22. It had 45,000 miles on it. XLT, a little lift, whatnot. It needed front brakes, and I noticed a coolant leak in the valley. And I told the customer, I said, I could care less really about those brakes. I want to know what's up with the engine and that coolant leak. Did the customer say he had a coolant leak? He had no idea. Well, forget the brakes. Who's that guy? That guy being the coolant. There's certain things that we have to pay close attention to with these trucks, starting with the 6.7. 6.4, you can't even worry about that. We don't talk about those because those are garbage. 6.0, distant second, but still a good one if you know what to do to them. Now, when the 6.7 came out, now everybody's tripping because they have to add the DEF. What are we going to do with this DEF? I guess I'll just add it to my fuel. Well, there you go, right on ahead. That's not supposed to go to your fuel. There's two outlets there, for one being DEF and the one diesel fuel. You don't want to get that messed up. Um, DEF will get injected into the exhaust. Um, if you guys didn't know, we have a strategy that's been on these trucks since 2011 all the way to 22. Post injection after the main injection event where we're getting our power, it squirts a little extra fuel in that exhaust stroke. That fuel goes into the DPF and the SCR. Chemical reaction between that and the DEF and the temperature and the material that the cat is made out of. All of this stuff combines, and you have Captain Planet coming off the tailpipe. Well, when we don't let that vehicle regen, what's going to happen? We have the check engine light. We have a 2002 catalyst efficiency. Then Ford comes out with the TSB. It says if you get any trucks that have a 2002, you have to replace the catalyst. Hopefully, you're under warranty, because if you're not, how did we say? How much was that cat I just told you about? All them sensors. Sometimes they don't come out. You got to replace the sensors. What are you going to do? You got to replace it. You can't rig the sensors into the cat. It's not going to. Sometimes I've had to replace the bungs. That's the only rigging that you probably can do. But one of the biggest things to help keep that DPF clean is making sure, hopefully you're running low ash oil. That's pretty much the standard now around for diesel oil. The new API rating it's got to be what was it, Ray? CJ7, is that what it is now? CJ8, is that the new rating? You know, a low ultra low ash viscosity oil, you know. So when some oil is going to be burned from the rings in the combustion chamber, and when that gets burned, that is going to go into the exhaust. This has to be low ash. I want to say equipped. Yeah, that's the oil you have to run. But running the fuel additive, that is probably, if not maybe the biggest thing that gets looked over is running fuel additive. We've been using Arch oil. It's probably been the biggest difference that I've seen with post combustion and keeping the DPF cleaner. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When we were getting between, I don't know, 290, between 290 and I want to say 360, maybe 375, maybe 100 mile range in regions. We're almost pushing into the high 300s, 400s after using Arch oil. And that is not only going to be lubricating the fuel injectors, but keeping the DPF in less regen is going to be less fuel the vehicle is going to be using. And the biggest thing was also getting the customers who are just idling their trucks. Let's get you a high idle switch, or come and see me and let's get a little resistor installed down here at your kick panel. And hopefully you have upfitter switches. If you don't, we'll circumvent that. But let's get it up off idle. When you sit there without any accelerator or brake input and the truck, you'll hear it. And it's at like, 1,000, maybe 1050 or something. It's doing that to bring all the after treatment and everything up to temp. That's not really high idle. That wound up being a software calibration change that started like the 1920, 17, 18, 19, I guess, when maybe 20 EO7 came out, or 21 EO7, and people were getting their trucks back after we did this update. And they're like, oh my gosh, I was sitting there talking to my buddy in the driveway and I was in park and all of a sudden it started idling up and it started smelling. I'm like, you can't go backwards. I mean, I'm sure there's a way you can, but people right then and there, their quick retort to that, I'm just gonna have my buddy go in. I, I mean, hey, you do what you got to do, man. But this
That
is
was the
some
that was the worst part of my life is after that recall was done.
like, how do you explain to the technician who who is trying to relay this to the customer that Ford Motor Company says there's nothing you can do, it's totally normal, and welcome to
Owning
new
a diesel.
calibration life, I guess.
Well, they have a service message now, so
I have that pulled up. What
I don't remember the number, but it is a service message now for
let's see.
smoke and high idle.
Let's see if I can remember. Technical instructions. Owner letter. Let's see if it says it in the owner letter.
There's a separate service message for smoke after recall complete.
Now, I remember getting drilled and drilled at class, and even talking to the engineers calling into the tech hotline. And it's even in the publications in the PCED that if you do a 3000 RPM neutral rev up, park neutral rev up, that there is to be absolutely no smoke emitted from the exhaust. But yet here we are with this reprogram.
Directions change.
You know what? So now it's okay that we have smoke being emitted from the tailpipe now.
Yep.
You see what kind of bind you guys put me in when we start modifying stuff. It's just a real pain in the arse, man. Let's see what the let's see what you guys are talking about in the comments here. Good job for Skidoo. Yeah, ain't no lie. Hi Ray. Got warranty till 2030. Dang. Everything PSDs did in the fitness routine. Okay, due to the unknown. I understand. Good evening.
SSM 51691
51691.
for
I
11 to
quote
23.
SSM 51691. I'm sure you guys can find it on the interwebs. I'll read verbatim. 2011 through 2023 F Super Duty and 2016 through 2024 F650 750 vehicles equipped with a 6.7 engine may exhibit an elevated idle condition. During prolonged idle time, vehicles may experience this elevated idle to reduce unburned hydrocarbons from the SCR. Oh, wow. The PCM module estimates hydrocarbon levels in the SCR and may increase idle speed to remove them. Idle speed may be increased to 1,000 RPM. Okay, I was pretty close for ambient temps near 80 degrees and may increase to 1,200 at 40 degrees, negative 40 degrees. Vehicles may exhibit exhaust smoke and diesel exhaust fluid smell during this elevated idle condition. Exhaust smoke and smell condition will not affect the reliability or durability of the engine. PTO use and idle set point control will disable elevated speed. It's required that the operator monitor the vehicle and adhere to any exhaust filter warning messages. So I don't know. I don't think I continued on with what I was saying. I don't know if you guys are aware that in your instrument cluster and the PCM, which is the computer that runs the engine. So the computer that runs your engine by your cowl and your instrument cluster, there's two things that can be turned on. the DPF percentage. Did you guys know that you could watch the DPF percentage through your instrument cluster? And you have the ability to turn off the truck's ability to automatically clean the filter. You got 50K in your truck on your 22, and it has been auto regenning the whole entire 50,000 miles, and you didn't even know. But now you can turn that off and let your filter fill up to 100%. When it reaches 100%, a prompt that you've never seen before is going to say, hold OK to clean filter. No way. It's going to go do, 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 do. What's that say? Is exhaust position safe? Yep, I don't see no trees. I don't see no garbage, no sticks. Hold OK. Do, 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 do. And it's going to do a regen through the instrument cluster. So you have to ask yourself, how do I operate my truck? Do I operate it in a way that I can leave the truck auto clean? Or would I benefit just leaving it fill up to 100? Because what you guys probably aren't noticing is you'll be just about to start a regen or in a regen. Oh, all right, come on, guys, we got to go. And cut that thing off and head into the house or head up to stop at Home Depot or whatever the case is, the scenario. If you guys know, why is this turned off, number one, in all of these trucks? And two, if you guys knew the percent that it was at, you would know. The salesman's not telling you guys this. We need to have another seminar to teach you guys how to do this outside of the dealer. If you guys knew that it was going to start at 100 and you're about to be creeping up on 90 and 95, oh man, I remember what A-Rod said, let me shut auto regen off. And don't initiate that regen, and do it when you get back on the road, or let it fill up to 100% and do it the next day. You may not even be aware of how long it's actually going to take you to fill that filter up. Leave it off and go drive it. Wow, it took me a week to fill it up to 80. Maybe you'd benefit from not leaving it unchecked, the auto regen check. Maybe you're one that benefits from just letting it ride. You drive your truck in a manner that will keep those temps hot. You guys that are doing the 3 miles, the 5 miles to work, you're killing the DPF. You need to get Forescan, or you need to get this stuff turned on remotely by us so that you can take control of your DPF and not go down the wormhole that I think a lot of you guys may go down on those forums. And I consistently hear, hey, I was on those forums, and I tell myself, like, I'll go into one of those on Facebook and do one of these. I don't want to comment. I don't want to say anything. I stay my ass off of those forums because I'm going to say something that's going to be real. And then you're going to have Johnny Dingle Nod, who, heard from his grandpappy that this, yeah, I'm not going to say nothing. I just back up and go. And you guys will get wrapped up in this stuff. You guys can fix it. If it's not by me, the publications are there. Motorcraft.com, forescan.org. You guys have 2 things right here, and this channel with lots of playlists specifically for check engine lights and wiring repairs. You guys need to start fixing your own trucks. I just had a customer today on a road call who had his truck at the institution. I'm not going to not ask what he got done. So my curiosity got the best of me. I'm like, oh, What did you get done? Oh, I had exhaust manifolds. Really? Well, let me look. Well, why did they tighten that fast? You mean to tell me they left the exhaust manifold nut loose? Well, let me go look at the other side. Dang, they didn't even put the exhaust manifold heat shield on this side. Bruh. Man. I mean, the customer's standing right over my shoulders, like, well, will you see anything? Does everything look okay? Man, I wish you would have. No, I'm sorry, I don't want to do your exhaust manifolds. Uh, I mean, I would be saying something that nut's supposed to be contacting the manifold that's supposed to be pushing in and sandwiching it to the cylinder head. Bro, stop going to the dealer, fix your own trucks, or come and see us. You got a 3.0, go see CP. You're over on the East Coast, you need something from BFT, holler at him. Come see Ray. We'll be in Florida. Like, there should be no reason why you guys should be getting screwed by those dealers and doing stuff that maybe you shouldn't be doing, but you're doing. I get it. It's a lot of money to fix it, but getting to that point where it costs a lot of money to fix it, I think could be prevented with running a fuel additive, great fuel additive, arch oil, and turning on the stuff that Ford has turned off. I want to know why it's turned off. Is too much info bad for the customer? Oh, we're going to have customers come in and complain. Oh, my filter was at 80 one day and it's at 100 the next day. Oh, what's going? Well, why have it at all then? It says, even if you're using FDRS, IDS, Forescan, it straight up says disabled or enabled. Why is it disabled? Let's enable all that. You guys need to get Forescan. Come see us. We can do it remotely. Or come see us. It's definitely worth knowing that you got a clean DPF. No problemos. No headaches. So you have to replace a sensor every once in a while. Mind you, hold on. Hold it. What's the temps of the exhaust and regen BFT?
Are you talking about like beginning or?
Like, what's a normal temp during regen?
Well, it's got to be over 200 and was it 215 degrees on EGT1 for it
We're
to start.
cooking. We're
And, oh,
cooking.
at like 1200 degrees.
1200 degrees. That's just one time. Think of how many times these sensors have thermocycled 1,000 degrees, and then you go and you cut it off. You didn't even know it was in a regen. Now, this is just the life of this sensor. The stuff's going to wear out. These little electronics in this hot ass exhaust. So you need a knock sensor every once in a while. And that knock sensor just happens to be connected to a module that you can't disconnect. What do you want me to do? Come on. It was made in Czech Republic. What do you want me to do? That's what they do over there. So you place a sensor. I think you're muted. I see your mouth moving. I just happened to look up.
I said, "Oh, come on! It's just an $800 sensor."
They really are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
no.
And then,
600 bucks. Yeah.
and then, hold on. I can't remember. Do the Illumity ones need to? Yeah, no, they probably have to be programmed in.
All four knock modules are plug and play.
Programmable.
They're plug and play.
Well, maybe the 11 through 16 had the option to reprogram them, but I think Cody, yeah, was right. You just slap them in.
Because you have problems if you go try to program them.
That's what it was.
They're all plug and play.
Sup, DS? Supreme Court ruling. DS, check this. Full Slim Shady.
Hey, Cody.
Hmm.
Are there any recalls floating around in the works that about rear wheel lockup with the 10-speed transmissions that were the joint venture with GM?
I've seen something about it, but I can't tell you if I've seen anything. Only recall I know about for sure is the 21 and up axle bolts shearing
Oh.
on the 9 3/4 axles.
Well, the reason I ask is Truckmaster just made a video yesterday, and apparently, a bunch of the, I think 400,000, like 2019, 2020, 21, and 22 Silverado and Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500s were, they're all suffering from a rear wheel locking up while driving condition, and then they're making the trucks wreck and fly off the road. What I find interesting about that is the 2500 and the 3500s are running the 10 speed, the fake Allison, which is supposed to be the joint venture transmission with Ford.
Mm-hmm.
And GM's current fix for it is a TCM reflash that will warn you before your transmission locks up. They don't actually have a fix for it. I guess there's a bunch of valve stuff that wears out in the valve body. But the other thing I found a little curious about this is they're saying that the 1500 size trucks are doing it too, and that doesn't share the same transmission, but the recall says to reprogram the TCMs as well. So
There's nothing on this 21 that I'm looking through right now.
okay, it doesn't smell correct because the two platforms have completely different drivetrains, but they're affected by the same recall. And I know that those parts are shared in some of the Ford vehicles, but that's why I'm wondering if that recall is affecting some of the Ford vehicles. So there's some weird recall brewing right now, but from what I gathered from Truckmaster, it doesn't really make much sense because the problem shouldn't cross over between these different product lines, and it does.
I think I just saw that on the news.
I
And you see how the
smell
25 Ford Mavericks get a gasoline DPF? Mm-hmm.
Every gas vehicle is going to get one on
That's gonna
the
suck.
refresh.
yeah.
On refresh, they'll
I
be
gotta wonder at what point does this madness stop?
Aftermath RC says, A-Rod, I have a new SD, 3,500 miles on it, and don't even know if it actually does a regen. How do I know? I'm using 6,500 additive in South Texas. If you're using DEF, I will assure you that you're going into regen. And if you weren't, that lovely yellow check engine light would
you
be
showing up.
letting you know. 100%. 100%. I do know that I constantly hear that these new trucks just drink death compared to I had a 21 and this thing drinks death like crazy. I'm hearing that all the time, so I don't know if that's
Well, if you think the 23 through currently 25 drink DEF, wait till 27. They're gonna drink it like it's going on a style.
We're gonna use more DEF than fuel.
They are. They're gonna use. It's gonna be.
that's crazy.
It's gonna be faster than
That's
by the mile. It'll be like by the gallon of
that's
fuel.
crazy.
Hmm.
Hey Rod, if you turn off auto regen and do a manual or parked, do you really need to do an oil change after that? I have seen this warning via my OBD monitor when I tried to do a manual once. No, I mean, there's not really a need to do an oil. I've done plenty of regens and not have to do an oil change directly after. Have to exit vehicles from idle only mode and haven't, or had to have done the drive cycle procedure and haven't had to do an oil change. I mean, usually the vehicles that are coming in are getting that done anyway, so it may have just worked out that I did an oil change and had to do a regen, but I love my iDash. Yeah, me too, man.
I don't see anything on the Ford side, Ray. At least on the stuff I work on.
No. Okay. Hmm.
No, 23 doesn't have OCR capability. Percentage, not somebody hasn't figured out the coding yet. I'm sure a basement dweller will soon reveal the much needed codes. Ooh, rotten chicken. Man, gross.
Ew.
Oh yeah, congrats Ray on the 600K. Woo woo.
Hey, thank you. They snuck up fast on me.
How's the Dirty Max coming?
I have the frame all stripped and ready for paint, and it's going to get painted this weekend. And then once the frame's painted, I can roll it back into the shop and start putting things back together. It's coming
Hmm.
along. Next
Has
year,
any
I'll be done with it next year.
literally.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Ooh, it's gonna be nice. Ooh, I can't wait.
Has anybody ever talked to these guys in person or met them? Curious. We are all figments of your imagination.
Which guy? These guys? These ones?
Yeah.
We're not real. We're actually AI.
I've talked to them all in person.
I talk to myself.
How does Forescan work remotely? Well, what happens is
The remote control.
yeah, I remote control
Duh.
through my Zoom, actually what we're on right now. And once you guys have the program on your computer, we do a little evening session or a little afternoon, weekend probably. And we sit down. We'll Zoom for, probably about an hour. We'll go through the whole truck and turn on and off some of the stuff that Ford has turned off. One of them being, did you know you could roll your windows down with your key? But Ford has it turned off to roll it up with your key. So I make sure I turn all those on so that you guys can roll your windows up if you're got and it's raining. Honey, give me my keys. Let me roll my windows up. Wouldn't that be cool? Not if you're over in that situation, but I mean, why is it off? Why is my DPF percent off? Just tell me why. We turn that on. It's cool. A bunch of stuff. A big spreadsheet we go through. Zoodad, if you ever see him in the comments, he's a big supporter of Forescan and walks us through a bunch of stuff if we get stuck. He's a good guy. What up, Mr. Chris? No, we are not going to be working on electric cars. There's enough Power Strokes around.
I mean,
I
I
think
can
I'm
work
gonna-
on electric cars.
I mean, I will watch you work on electric cars.
Somebody asked if you can turn off the 30-minute idle shutdown. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Not on the 23s.
I did it on mine.
You did it on yours. It finally works.
Yeah, it works.
Speaking of electric cars, did you guys hear that there was a ship container that blew up in the port of Miami this morning?
What? No.
There was a shipping container. It was full of salvage auction cars or whatever. Bunch of electric ones, including 2 Teslas. And I found this YouTube video today where the guy narrowed down which of the 2 Teslas was responsible for blowing up the port of Miami. And I think based on the guy's video, the one that blew up was the one that flooded that was across the street from my in-laws' house. Because I have pictures of it, and he has pictures of the car from the Copart auction. And based on the waterline mark, the one that was parked in front of my parents' house is the one that blew up in the port of Miami this morning.
Hey, Ray.
Small
What's the
world.
chance of that, bro?
There's only a couple white Teslas that didn't already burn down during the hurricane, and one of them was across the street from mom and dad's house. I think
And
that's
just
the one that blew up in Miami. Yeah.
and just took out a container. And, no
Yeah,
big
and
deal.
it just blew up Miami.
No big deal.
Hey,
I
Ray,
mean, yo,
your rear wheel lockup. Somebody
Yeah.
who works for GM just sent me the special coverage.
oh,
Momentary rear wheel lockup. Yep. From 2021, 2020 to 2022, it looks like.
yeah,
It says, correction, dealers are to install a new control valve body. The repairs will be made at no charge.
The valve bodies don't exist.
That's what it's saying right here.
Oh, yeah.
Revision
Truck,
December
truck.
2024 is when it was released.
Okay. Yeah, Truckmaster said that they're on intergalactic back order
Oh, of course they
Yeah.
are.
for valve bodies.
Why
Um,
wouldn't they be?
it was Derek sent this to me. I will forward this to you so you can see it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the repair. And from what I was reading, the in the meantime repair is they will reprogram your TCM to let you know that it's about to lock up. That way you can stop driving it once it turns into a risk of death or great bodily injury.
Nice.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to hit Fordland. Okay.
Fordland's been putting valve bodies in them since the beginning, so
Are you able to read that? I forwarded it. Can you read that?
One attached file. Yes, I can.
Thank you,
Oh,
Derek.
goody.
yeah,
Oh, goody.
just looking at Mason's
wow.
YouTube page, and he puts valve bodies in just about every 10 speed he touches.
That's what they get for calling it an Allison.
Just by name.
Yep.
It's
You know,
a
Rick
10.
Scott, your 2011, if your 2011 was in Michigan, I automatically assume rotted out, clapped out.
Yeah.
I don't have words that are appropriate for the internet to describe what that would look like. So when I see 2011 in the PNW, ooh, please don't have me work on a rusted out 2011. Sorry, buddy. Can you guys shed light on what the no? Absolutely not. Like maybe we need to rewind and go in the very beginning. You're gonna have to figure that out for your own self there, Mr. Bass. Can you pinpoint test with forescan? Absolutely. The part of the
Right
pinpoint
collar.
test
Right
that you
collar.
need forescan would be monitoring like the data. So in the pinpoint test, it's going to say, raise the engine RPM and monitor EGR flow. You're going to have to look at forescan and monitor the EGR flow and look and answer the question, is EGR flow at 4.2 volts? Yes. So to answer your question, yes.
Wording may be different, so you may be hunting for the correct PID.
Correct. Correct. Not a bit of rust. Oh, okay. Okay. What color is it? Be better if it's a two-tone. Well, I like that cream. I like that cream lower. That King Ranch. I'm a sucker for the King Ranch. You guys like the two-tone King Ranch? Man, I'm a sucker for the King Ranch. I love it.
Well, I mean, look at my Land Rover. It's two-toned.
I do cars. What up?
Oh my God. It was
Welcome.
so difficult to get in here.
Well,
I've
welcome.
I've had a rough week, guys.
Look at
Yeah. How you doing,
Your
buddy?
Rona.
It's okay. I caught the old Rona on Saturday and died Sunday and Monday, and I've been recovering ever since.
I like your hoodie.
Thank you.
That's
Uh,
still a thing?
what, hoodies?
Rona.
I didn't think so, but I had a 104-degree fever Monday morning, so I will,
Oh,
and then I
Oh,
got
wow.
tested. So yeah, I
You
mean,
get tested? Okay.
yeah, I was in my bed hallucinating and hearing things, and then I like didn't. Have you ever had a fever and then you never sweat? And you're like, okay, so this is how I go out because normally you feel hot or you get the chills, and I had nothing. I was just like, I just felt like I was on fire, but I wasn't sweating, and I was like ice cold to the touch. That's how I felt. Uh, yeah, and then it all broke in like an hour's time. of making the appointment. Of course, that's how it works. I was like, great. Now they're never gonna know what's wrong with me. But no, ended up being Corona and whatever. I feel like 85%, 85%, somewhere around there
Did
now.
you lose your smell?
No, I didn't do that the
Okay,
last time I
okay.
got it either. No, didn't
Oh,
lose smell, didn't lose with kids. It might have been nice, but didn't lose smell, didn't lose taste. And I had like weird, like a little bit of body aches, really bad headache, and fever, and I was pretty good.
104? Dude,
104.
that's
I
crazy.
I had 36 hours above 102.
Did
You were
you
literally cooking your brain, dude.
go to the hospital or
I went I
urgent
went to
care?
I went to urgent care, yeah. I walk in there
Damn.
and I by the time I think I don't know how I like if my fever hadn't have broken, I don't know how I would have been able to drive there because I woke up Monday morning and I was like, you know that scene when Beavis and Butthead when Beavis is in the middle of the desert and he's like all shriveled up on the desert floor, you know, in the sun, and that's how I felt in my bed.
Oh man.
But I'm better. It's good.
Whoa, whoa,
Nobody else
whoa.
in the family is sick, so that's cool. It's just me. So, whatever. Sets me back a few days.
Well, at least you're not gonna be all jacked up being around people for the holidays, so you can hopefully try
Yeah, I
to
mean, I usually when after
sorta.
I get sick, I feel really good for the next. I usually get about 6 to 8 weeks feeling pretty good before I get sick again. Sometimes I get lucky. I don't know. This time of year, with all the family stuff and being around so many people, being inside, it's tough. And I still can't see. Just so everybody knows, I have to read the live chat on my phone because I can't see that for whatever reason it's broken on Safari. I don't understand.
Safari.
Yeah.
Far.
Mr. Bass in with another question. 22 currently have 331 gears, okay, and want to run 37s. Okay. Can trans tune help or will it make I don't know why you keep asking about tuning, but you can just recalibrate the instrument cluster. So,
You shouldn't be changing tire size with the Easy Link anyways,
I
because you set a whole bunch of codes by doing that.
think this guy is maybe in
He's a
the wrong
fed.
chat.
He's a fed.
You can exit. You can exit.
It's over there.
Yeah. You're not gonna find your answers
Back
you're
with a
looking for,
warrant.
homeboy.
Nope. I would feel bad if he's like not a fed. We hurt his feelings. Sorry,
I
Aaron.
do
Yeah.
cars.
I mean, Cliff's a Fed too, so
Yeah, but he knows he's a fed. And he's like he's not even trying to hide it anymore.
So how has everybody else been? You guys all been good there over here in the popped out chat? Everybody's it's been a while since we've been on here.
Yeah.
I think about you guys every Wednesday, just between the shop and videos and life and freaking dogs and all that stuff, man.
Yeah. I feel like if you have lives less often, it makes like this is more special because you haven't done this in a while.
It is. It is. That was I was kind of excited to get on and do it. It
Yeah.
I mean you kind of get a little burned out. I mean, it's been a little step back. Um um I don't know, since like September maybe. I needed to get my mind right and life needed more attention than YouTube did. So I needed to
Yep.
just kind of it was just a good I think for everybody, it was just a good you guys are going to be here. All 150 of you guys came back. Um, it's we had some stuff to do and living and school and holidays. It's been good.
We needed
Been
healing. We had to have some
yeah.
healing, man.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys have come through. Eddie Campos, he came through. We did a DCR in his truck. Well, hold on. My new truck to me needs a whole. Bro, come on. I feel so bad for this guy, man. Oh, Eddie, bro, you'll have to call me tomorrow. I don't even want to get into the problem that you got now with this new truck, man. I feel horrible for you. Jiminy Cricks, dude. This poor guy. Yeah, call me tomorrow because if you need an AC compressor or something, I think I have a contact that I could possibly hook you up with.
I
That's
got one.
just ridiculous, man.
What year is
Uh,
this truck?
BFT. I think he's got a Luma Duty.
7? Is it okay? So it's an 11 through 16, right?
No, 17 through
Oh wait, you said
22.
Illuminaries. 17.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I got one.
yeah. Oh, Cody said power just went out. Um, yeah, a lot of you guys come through. Um, had us do DCRs. A lot of guys have been coming in and getting maintenance. I've been so proud of you guys. Um, coming to get the trans, coming to get um uh diffs and banks and fuel tanks. Like I have a lot of stacked up cardboard 21 BFT. So that's the new compressor with that variable displacement on the back connector. Um and it's good to see that you guys are creating a baseline. I've had a couple of older gents come in and was taking notes and marking down everything we did so they could keep records for everything. It was pretty cool. You guys, a lot of you guys really appreciate the tool that you bought, that you're investing in, that you're running your company with. And I am proud to be a part of that, helping you guys make informed decisions about how you're going to spend your money, how you're going to take care of your truck, what you're going to do to your truck. So, what's up with that? What's everybody doing for the new year? Nothing, hanging out. That's cool.
Sleeping.
Sleeping. That's cool. That's cool.
Drinking all night. 40.
Hopefully, we're not going to have a crap ton of snow.
Yeah. How's it been up there? You guys getting a bunch yet?
No, not yet, but it was like 11 degrees last week, and we had some lake effect snow. So it was kind of like
Did it amount,
spotty.
did it amount to anything on the roads?
Yeah, actually, Black Friday, I was going to work and I crashed my Safari into the wall of the freeway. Okay, so
What?
hear me out. Hold on. So when I think back, right, I'm like, dude, let me get a redo. I could so do that again, bro. Just like Vin Diesel, you never had your car. I never had my van. Straight hit maneuver, bro. And I came back this way, and then I came back this way, and it wasn't, you know, head on with the wall. It was like at a 45-degree angle. So when I hit the wall, I rode the wall and was like, boom, boom. Came to stop in the middle of the freeway, and like the van didn't move. And I'm like, oh my gosh, did it shut off? And I'm like hitting the gas and nothing's happening. Well, then it just dawned on me I needed to hit the gas harder because my left front tie rod was like this. So it turned me and I crashed into the guardrail on the right side, and there left my '05 GMC Safari, and it was a beater. And
I
then
remember
the
was
you
it
tow
video
truck
done?
guy,
called me.
Is
oh
it
yeah,
You
dude.
you video called me and was like, "Yeah, I crashed my van." But I think you were in the passenger seat of another truck because you were holding the phone out the window, and all I
Oh
seen was a
yeah.
van up against the guardrail.
The tow
It's
truck
like,
driver, he
no.
drops it off and he's like, yeah, you got a jack stand? I'm like, jack stand? Like, motherfucker, you just picked it up. It was on all four wheels. What the fuck you need a jack stand for? Well, when I picked it up, the frame broke. Bro,
Did it really?
are you serious, man?
Did the front did like the front subframe rot out where
Well, where he picked it up, with his, boom thing.
yeah.
It went right under the support, like where the oil pan was or whatever, like that
Ah,
structural part. Like,
so the thing just folded
fuck.
up.
Well, so did the front end. But that little crossbeam thing didn't. I mean, I sat there for 20 minutes with it running. Something was hitting the fan, Got it back to the shop, and the freaking upper hose was like a 90-degree bend. I was like not allowing anything to flow. But whatever, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you were fine. You didn't hit anybody,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't think I was gonna die. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. And I'm like bracing for the airbags because I'm like, I for sure thought the airbags were going off. I hit it like 30 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Nothing.
but you didn't go straight into it. You kind of slid into it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. That's the direction of impact that changed how the airbags went off.
Yeah, but that was about it. My neck hurt for a few days. But, I mean,
Oh.
I was just worried about my legs because that front end's like snub nose and like
Oh yeah.
the
Have
the
you seen
wheel
the
well right there. I'm like, oh,
have you seen the crash
oh.
test on those? It's not
I
good.
know I don't want to, bro. I'm okay. But it was so messed up. We had just went and got supplies the day before, and so I'm on the free. I didn't know what I was going to do with the van, so I'm on the side of the freeway taking everything out of the van just so that it wasn't going to sit and get impounded or whatever. Because I needed all this shit in the van.
Yeah.
Like that sucked.
Yeah. At least nothing came forward either and hit you. I had a buddy of mine that he worked for an electrician and they had a van run into somebody else and they had a bunch of unsecured stuff and it all impaled the partition and it poked the driver and the passenger in the back of the head, but it was just enough to go boop, like,
What?
it was like there was like all this
Oh my God.
equipment. He said it just
Holy
blasted
shit.
the partition into pieces. Uh,
Yep. No more Safari.
oh well. There's more of them if you really liked it.
It
Dude.
was fun to ride in. I liked riding through Detroit in that Safari.
Bro, remember the oil? We do the first. Ray comes up here. I'm like, we're gonna make a video. We're gonna do the first oil change of this van. We're like mid video. We're taking the drain plug out. What the hell? Man, what the hell is that? Somebody's got an easy out in the freaking oil drain plug because they stripped out the thing. I'm like, well, that sucks.
Did that it didn't cause a problem though, so I mean
No, it just, I don't usually take oil drain plugs out and see
an easy
this. What the fuck is this, dude?
That's funny.
Well, I guess it's after party time. I appreciate you guys for coming back. I will see you on Friday. Different kind of video. I'm actually been really excited editing it. It's a totally not my style, but it's different and I kind of like it. I'm gonna see what you guys think. It's kind of a longy. It is a problem that you could have, and I'm showing you how to fix it. So you might want to watch it. I'll see you guys later. BFT, Rainman Ray CP, Eric, I do cars. Good to see you guys.